All right.
Okay, so I'm going to call the Katuitt Fire District Prudential Committee to order for the September 26, 2022 meeting. We'll do a roll call. Ray Perrone, present. Mark Lynch,
Present.
Seth Burdick,
Present.
Charlie Eager,
Present.
and Fran Parks present. Can we do the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Okay. I pledge allegiance to the
To
flag
the flag
of the
of the
United
United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So did everybody get a chance to review the minutes?
Yes,
Okay. I have a correction.
Me too.
Why don't you go ahead, Seth?
Oh, well, it was just where it trails off in the middle there. Fran Parks reported Freedom Hall.
Yeah, right.
Has been busy. That was my obvious one. That was what I
The
Should
the
call
six
it
pair,
something.
the six,
they would put on something. Yeah, how far down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 down.
paragraph after after
Right here.
Treasurer reported the town treasurer has retired, no replacement named as yet. And then the following one,
Yeah.
Fran Parks reported, so on, so on. And then it trails off and there's nothing after. It says,
Right.
see if they would put on.
So you can delete she said to would put on, because I was talking about the owl, and that's in the next paragraph.
it should be different functions, not difference functions.
Where?
Sixth paragraph right there.
Up,
Up.
there you go.
Any other corrections?
Not from my end.
Me neither.
Okay, so I accept a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Or I'll second it.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. So, Ray, you're up.
Ray just sent a message saying he has no audio. Did you get that?
Oh, didn't get that. All right, why don't we go on to Freedom Hall and get back to him and see if that improves. Freedom Hall is still busy with multiple functions. We also, I had to have the a locksmith out to repair one of the front doors that was jammed, and that was taken care of. Still have people calling and or emailing me wanting to rent it for different functions. So that's good. And other than that, everything is quiet there. I made an appointment today for the furnaces to get their yearly check. So that'll be coming up next month. Mark, is there anything on the Katuitt School Committee?
You know, a little, but perhaps we should go into executive session to discuss this.
Okay. Well, I will add my 2 cents. I don't know if you saw in the Civic Association newsletter, the blurb at the very bottom of the front page. The people who are interested in making the school a community center are having a meeting at the end of the week at I think it's Mr. Foy's house on Main Street.
I believe that's correct, yes.
Yes, and then on October 1st, they're planning on doing a tour of the school, which they'll have to arrange through the town. we're not eligible to give them permission to do that because we don't
Right.
own
Right.
it. Okay.
I've texted Ray that he can log out and rejoin and then test his audio signals. I think that's what he's doing right now.
Okay. Ray, can you hear us?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Well, there's a chat. I think he might have just chatted. Ray said he has no audio. I guess, should I suggest he join by phone?
Yeah, if you can.
Right. Try joining
So
by phone.
there's a broken window at the school, which I let the town know about. The chief was having trouble getting in touch with them. I guess nobody had passed along to the chief that the previous fire chief offered for the fire department to check the, do a visual check of the building on a weekly basis. Okay. And any scheduled meetings for policy advisory or bylaws?
Not yet for me, anyway.
None for me.
Okay. I just, streetlights, these streetlights are now 11 years old. Their life was 10 to 13 years. So there was a street light out on Main Street in August that the previous service provider fixed for us, Siemens. And now there are 2 more street lights out on Pompanesett. And so those are going to be fixed by Aiden, which is the new company that comes from Connecticut.
How do you spell that, Fran?
Aiden,
Yeah.
Aden.
Okay, thank you.
And I have to make a trip down Ocean View Avenue to see if the pole's back up. That's been down for almost a year, so our light can go back up. I'm not even sure whose pole it is. I don't know if it's Eversource's pole or the telephone company's pole or but
Brianna, are these the lights you emailed me about today?
yes.
Okay, I haven't looked up on the list. I've been doing other things, but I will be able to track that down and identify who owns it and whether we're responsible for it. And if we are, I will make the contact.
Great.
Okay. And I've just instructed Ray, called Ray on his phone and suggested he join by phone. And he's doing that now. But in the meantime, one thing he said is there was no response on tank insurance yet. We're on my cat.
Okay, can we?
All right.
That's
Well-
about the school. Let's go into executive session there, I think. Before we do that, though, Fran, you mentioned that the streetlights are 11 years old. Were they all installed at the same time?
Yes, they were.
Okay, and lifetime was estimated to be 10 to 13 years. Are you
Correct.
suggesting that we need to be thinking about a wholesale replacement or?
No, I don't know. I don't think we need to do that, but it's going to, they're going to start needing to be replaced, one by one. So probably, for our next budget, we'll probably need to increase the maintenance budget for that. I don't think they're all going to go out at once. Oh, there's a third one that was on during the daytime. It was across the street from the water department. That was so right now the
I
problem.
will check on all those.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now, Ray?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yay!
Yay. Okay.
Fran, should we be thinking about that, or is it cheaper to just replace them all at once, or to kind of do it piecemeal?
That, I think that's something that we'd have to look at the cost of, get an estimate for the cost of replacing them all at once. There are 216 streetlights, is that correct, Lisa? Or 236, 63?
I'd have to check the numbers.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's in, I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Okay, so having 2 or 3 out is not a very high percentage. Nothing that we need to be inordinately worried about right now.
No, and we have, over the course of these lights being in, we've only maybe had to service and replace 1 or 2 lights over the past 10 years. And well, we'll make that 3 because 1 was stolen. And so we've been, they've been working above and beyond our expectations. So, all right, Ray,
Yes, ma'am.
would you like to do your report?
Truly. It's a fairly brief report. Overall revenue is ahead of budget and expenditures are at or behind budget. So we're in a very favorable position at this point in the year. When you look at revenue, current taxes are at 22% versus the target of 17% at August. When you look further, water department and ambulance are also well ahead. The only what appears to be negative, but really isn't, is the when you compare water and taxes to prior year. Taxes are down versus prior year because our overall tax levy is down. Water is down because of lower pumping. Although I don't have the exact statistics on that. The other areas seem to be on or ahead of budget. In the expenditure area, again, most are behind budget, meaning that they are not. They are at a lower percentage of budget than 17%, which is the target at this point. There are some areas that are being looked at and will be looked at. In the fire department, permanent staff incident is well ahead of budget. And I met with the fire chief about that. He is looking into it. Nothing to report now other than it appears that staff are coming in on what they call recall at a higher frequency than they did in the prior years. Still trying to find out why that is, if it's a temporary situation or not.
And Ray,
telephone.
that affects what part of the fire department budget? Overtime?
Overtime, yes.
Okay.
Overtime wages. And it will there be a problem if it continues? Possibly. It all comes down to the ever present risk of injury. If there's an injury, we probably will exceed our overtime budget. If not, we probably will not. Telephone is another area that seems to be up in all departments. Don't exactly know the reason for that. Just know that it was up. And another one that I have marked for follow-up is water department chemicals. Since it appears pumping and revenue is down, it's an anomaly that chemicals are up. In terms of articles, there was really no activity. The only thing was the purchase of my less than fully functional laptop. I found out tonight that it doesn't like Zoom, so I have another punch list item for secure networks to work on. The only other thing that I was going to relate was I have not heard from our insurance carrier regarding a special insurance policy for the tank on the school property.
Ray, can we save that for an executive session that we hope to go into shortly?
Fine.
Okay.
Then that's all I really had.
Any questions for Ray? Oh, Mark, any questions,
Yes.
for Ray? Go ahead.
No, thank you. I'm also, well, actually, maybe this is kind of background. I recently approved a accounts payable that you guys have already seen for 2 significant amounts for insurance. Ray, can you just, for my own edification, just give me a brief summary of what are we being insured for? What, I assume that that's the entirety of all our insurance coverages, that amount?
I think you just approved in a warrant in September for our property and casualty coverage, which covers basically liability, property damage, and auto insurance for our vehicles.
So that's all the fire department vehicles, the water department vehicles?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Plus
All
free
of it.
all?
All district. It's a package policy that covers, I call it a PNC, property and casualty. It covers all property and casualty risks.
It's called a portfolio.
Okay. And liability insurance as well?
Well, I consider liability part of casualty. But yeah, you're right. Property, casualty, and liability.
Okay.
The other ones that will be coming are workers' comp. I think one policy has been submitted and another one is yet to come.
Okay. I consider that a special item. Workers' comp insurance is its own animal. All right. Thank you. That's helpful.
Seth, do you have any
Okay,
questions?
Not on Ray's report, no.
I just have a comment, Ray, that maybe the chemicals are up because the cost of them are up, not necessarily the use quantity.
I have an idea here. I've noticed that in the chemical bills, the delivery charges are higher than the cost of chemicals, and that would make sense with the increased fuel costs.
There you go.
That could very well be. That could very well be. I haven't looked at haven't looked at that in detail. As I said, I noted it, and it's a bit of an anomaly. That may explain it. I'll have a chat with the water department and see what is going on and what the exposure is going forward.
All right. So, is there any public comment?
I don't see anything in the chat room.
Okay. So before we go into executive session, our next meeting will be October 24th.
I will be unable to attend that meeting. I'm going to be in the middle of a 2-week vacation, but you can proceed without me, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
Fran,
Yes.
I got a note from the assessor that they are again targeting the recap meeting for the last week in October. And I will try to, they haven't met that date yet, but they keep trying.
Okay.
So I'll try to make the meeting for the 24th so that we have just one meeting in October. We don't need a special recap meeting.
Okay. So March, is that the second week of your vacation or the first week of your vacation?
It's right in the middle. We're going to be on vacation from October 14th to the 30th,
Okay.
and we're going to be overseas. Otherwise, I would try to join you remotely, but we're going to be in Israel, Jordan, and Egypt.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Oh, special.
Yeah.
yeah. It's our 30th anniversary. So
Ah,
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion that the committee go into executive session for the discussion of real estate, that an open discussion in an open meeting might be detrimental to the process. And the committee will not return to open meeting after the executive session. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
This is a roll call vote for going into executive session. Mark,
Aye.
Seth,
Aye.
Fran,